Ladies, my sisters, let me lay it out for you as plainly as I can. Before we are men, we are boys. When we are boys, we are under the command and control of women almost exclusively. We are parented by women, disciplined by women, educated by women. We are raised by women. And those women scream at us and hit us a lot. In a recent study, as I mentioned, middle-class American women hit their toddlers aged 7 months to 3 years over 900 times a year. 80% of these British moms are hitting their babies. African American mothers are even more violent towards helpless and dependent boys and girls. In India and China, the most populous regions of the world, hitting children is an epidemic and staunchly defended. Treatment of children in Africa remains in general brutal. Feminists, are you concerned about male aggression? 3 to 5-year-old toddlers spanked by mothers are much more likely to break rules and act aggressively by the age of 9 than children who aren't spanked. Miss Watson, feminists as a whole, do you want men to use their words rather than act out aggressively? Spanking reduces verbal fluency and increases aggression. And mothers in the West hit helpless children 50% more than fathers do. Do you really, really, really think that women can do nothing whatsoever other than lecture men to end the cycle of violence in the world? Ladies, now is the time for empowerment. Forget about blaming others. Empowerment means focusing on what you can achieve right now, today, without begging for the participation of others. Mothers. Stop hitting your children. Just stop. Don't blame men. Don't blame poverty. Don't blame your children. Don't blame some abstract institution. Don't blame the patriarchy. Just stop hitting your children. You are individual moral agents. You don't give excuses to men for hitting women. There are no excuses for you hitting children, which is a far worse moral crime because children are completely helpless and dependent and never chose you as their mother. Boys, and countless girls, of course, are hit by their mothers hundreds of times a year. From babyhood onward, they crawl forward under a literal hailstorm of female assaults. For women to claim that they are helpless in the face of male aggression, that they can do nothing to change the cycle of violence, is literally madness. It's like planting an apple tree and then railing against the apple tree for being an apple tree. We reap what we sow. If there is one thing that I know, it is that women have the greatest possible power and influence over the cycle of violence that has forever strangled peace in this world. I am a stay-at-home father to a wonderful daughter, and I'm certainly sensitive to the needs and issues of women. But really, ladies, my sisters, crying out that you can do nothing to end violence and that men need to rush in and save you from the patriarchy turns women into hysterical Victorian caricatures, fainting on couches and helplessly weeping for salvation. Yeah, it's this old myth about the rule of thumb, that men could hit women with a stick no bigger than their thumb. This has always been a falsehood, calculated to slander men. It was never true, by the way. The Massachusetts Bay Colony prohibited wife-beating in 1655. No man shall strike his wife, nor any woman her husband, on penalty of such fine not exceeding 10 pounds for one offense, or such corporal punishment as the county shall determine. Well, no rule of thumb there. You get what that means? Ladies, my sisters, you get what that means? 359 years ago, it was illegal to hit your wife. And yet mothers still hit their children and complain about the violence in the world, the violence they help create. Punishments for wife beaters in history could be severe. According to an 1882 Maryland statute, the culprit could receive 40 lashes at the whipping post. In Delaware, the number was 30 lashes. In New Mexico, you could be fined from $255 to $1,000, 1 to 5 years in prison. Religious groups, especially the Protestants, the Quakers, Methodists, and Baptists, punished, shunned, and excommunicated wife beaters. Husbands, brothers, and neighbors often took vengeance against the batterer. Vigilante parties sometimes abducted wife beaters and whipped them. That's the kind of protection that women have had throughout history. Not perfect. But hitting children remains legal in most of the world's countries. Ladies, women, my beautiful sisters, you can change the world. You are the most essential aspect of fixing the world, of healing the world. And it fundamentally has nothing to do with men or the patriarchy. It relies on you, your children, your fists, and your conscience. The hidden violence of the world is the violence of women and the men they choose against children. Stop hitting children and save the world.